Nothing like prepping on the last second, guys. We got a snowstorm coming in tomorrow. Kind of unexpected. I don't really know the amount yet. It sounds like it's going to be a complete mess. So there's nothing like getting your new sander wired up into your truck the day before. I mean, why wouldn't it happen like that, huh? But anyway, I bought a Fisher Polycaster. It's used, but it's new to me. I've always used the gas sanders, and to be completely honest with you, I am so sick of using them. They are such a pain in the rear. They're just constant headaches. You always got to make sure that the motor's warmed up, because if the choke doesn't work or something, it's just a giant headache. That you always got to make sure you have gas in them and stuff. It's just, no, like, I'm done with that. Absolutely done with it. So I bought one of these Polycasters. They're electric. I've heard great things about them, so hopefully I enjoy sanding a little bit more this year. But the plan is to get the new wiring put into the dump here, and got all the wiring right here. Guy gave me a couple extra bearings with it as well, but I mean, seems like it's pretty straightforward. It's just like plow wiring, so it can't take too long. There's like just two main wiring harnesses. This runs into the cab, obviously, and this connection right there plugs into the main wiring harness that runs to the back of the cab, and then this goes to the battery right here. It's fairly simple, honestly, but we'll get it figured out. Alright guys, so I'm gonna start with doing the controller wire. And so this truck used to have, like, I bought this truck used, it had 10,000 miles on it, and it used to have a salt dog in it, so this is where they mounted the controller before. But I'm gonna take it off, and I'm gonna take those two bolts out right here, the one right there, one right over there, and pull that whole bracket off, and then just use this is the Fisher controller, and then they have this little bracket on the back here that I can just use those two holes and just put it in there. So it's just gonna sit just like that in there. But I got the controller wire through the firewall, and my god, that was not easy to do that. But I got it right, you can kind of see it, got it right through there. It's where the plow wiring goes through. So I mean, it's not ideal, but it definitely will work. There's just so many wires on these new trucks. And I don't know if you can see it. Just see where that red wire's coming out on that like circle black plug? That's where it's coming out of there. And then I'm just gonna tie it right to this wire right here. So tie it across. It's the same wire right here. And I got the battery access right there. So yeah, so actually I got the wire right here. So I'm just gonna zip tie that all up nicely so it looks good. And then plug it right into the battery harness, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, I got the Fisher controller mounted and wired in to the cab. It was way too tight and frustrating to video in here while I was trying to work underneath the dash and stuff, but as you can see, it's secured, and it's I got the wire coming right out of this right here, and it's plugged in the back. All I gotta do under here now, I mean, you can see how, like, it's just difficult, but you see this red wire, the lighting's terrible, I'm sorry. This is the power wire that I was telling you guys about for the sander, and I know you can't see it, but there's another red wire back there that's for the plow, and I'm just gonna connect the two of them so the plow and sander turn on at the same time. I'm gonna make sure your wires are nice and tight, especially not laying on top of the motor. I'm just doing one every like 6 inches or so, just to make sure it's gonna be nice. So this is the controller wire with that 4-pin plug that gets plugged into the power wire that goes to the back of the truck for the sander. So what I got here is this is going to the battery here, and obviously I got the other end over there. It's sitting just on the fender, so I'm just gonna, this looks a little bit easier to feed up to the battery than that big bulky plug, so I mean, just gonna run it right down the frame rail. You can see that this is the wire to run the pump here, so I'm just gonna follow that. I think that leads right up to the battery, so I'll just zip tie it right to that, honestly. Be the cleanest, best way to do it. So. Alright, here it is. So this one just goes directly to the negative terminal. This comes off the positive, which goes to this fuse, which goes to this wire right here. Alright guys, I got the cable to the back. It's just laying on the gas tank. That's what people usually do. I got plenty of room to be able to feed it through the back there and plug it into the sander. But I got it all wired up on the subframe of the dump body. Don't worry, I have my safety thing on the dump body, so if the piston does give out or something, I'm safe, I guess. Like, oh. And then I got it zip tied up on the frame rail all nice. Nothing's hanging or anything. And everything's connected to the battery. We got this fuse bolted onto the inner fender here nicely, and everything's zip tied up nice. Everything's plugged in. I just got to put that power wire, splice it into the plowing wire, and set the sander in and see if it works. All right. Alright, I actually just noticed that my chain guard was loose when I was loading this thing up. It's just riveted on by 3 rivets, 1, 2, 3, right up here. So I got some new rivets here with my rivet gun, so might as well just pop this back on correctly, you know. It just sits just like that. It just guards the chain here, it looks like anyway. So always a good thing to put this in your connections before you connect them together for the first time of the year. Okay. Moment of truth here, let's see. Turn it up a little bit. Get some grease in this.